Okay, and up on the stool there, real tall.
Up here?
It's on the shirts and the jackets and the...
We need the jackets zipped, or you want to leave them
Why don't we zip them up to about right?
about half-mast?
Okay, good.
I don't know where I was looking on that one. I think he's just trying to get
let's see, there's nothing really over here that you need to worry about. This is your air. This way. Be careful when you're adjusting this. This is a canopy jettison.
Okay.
You know about taking the pins out. Okay. There's a radar altimeter. I'll just leave that on. It'll tell you how high we are. It's a little bit more accurate.
Okay.
Last one.
It's such a nice family way.
The survival kit, as you can see, came in the bag like this with the rafting top. Screw this thing in. It'll automatically, as you screw it in, it'll open up this valve, and you can go ahead and inflate it more in case something happens.
Y'all catch you later.
Pull off that Velcro flap. Unstow the descent control tether and rope bag. That's your sky jeep. Throw the rope bag overboard. Attach the tether. Attach that to your carabiner. Climb the MSC, and you descend over the top. And you've got the line coming in here, and it's wrapped around the bar in the middle 3.5 times. And almost any tension at all on this create enough friction to completely stop your fall. And I let up on it, and you'll still go at a fairly slow rate of descent.
Let me do a couple of things here.
Easy.
Great.
Should be about 60 feet.
Okay, you're about 55 feet. It's about 20 feet forward, so that needs to go about 10 feet further out. Okay. It's not there either.
Must be below it.
Yeah, that must be it. Okay, about 40 on B. And 35 on A. Actually, I've drifted aft a little bit. That's a data map.
16. How many of them, Dick? How many?
They all have those kinds of.
You're gonna have every con picking one of them. Okay, good. You know, they not in here because we're not full of flat.
Okay, is red the indoor?
But you know, you'll see things at this same kind of time frame as you're seeing it now. It'll just look different. They'll start eclating around the balls.
No way. No way.
This is Dr. Bill's, this will be a
Come here.
Like I say, the bag will look different. It's a bigger bag.
Okay, so all three DSOs are going to be the same.
Yes, sir.
Now, where we are now, you're gonna be upstairs.
I'll probably come down and help set up this camera, but
Okay,
I'll be
you'll
back
be
over
over
here
there.
or upstairs.
So if right at the end, I could get everybody over here, that would work.
Everybody,
Just have to practice.
everybody could come over if you wanted to. Judy
Yeah.
could come down from upstairs.
Yeah, I think that would be nice. I think, oh, that's gonna be great.
Good. And then with this camera, you're gonna talk about the galley and
The lockers,
The
lockers.
galley, the lockers,
treadmill.
the treadmill, where the other seats were, and the airlock.
And then the crew.
And then the crew will come over.
Yeah, we should be. We just showed them. We can see enough here.
I didn't realize it'd be so slippery. I should have held on tighter.
Judy's causing help.
My gloves.
Good afternoon. I'd like to introduce to you the commander of STS-51L, Commander Dick Scobie, who will introduce the rest of his crew, and they'll say a few words.
Our fans are over here in the corner. As usual, it's a real pleasure to be at the Cape, to come down here and participate in something that the Cape does better than anybody in the world, and that's launching space vehicles. It's a great pleasure for us to be here. We expect weather like this on Sunday when we launch, and you all do the best to keep it that way if you would. And what I'll do is introduce the next crew member, and we'll just go down the line, let everybody say a little bit as we go. And I'd like to introduce my pilot, Mike Smith, who's one of the best flyers in the world, and he's great to have in the shuttle, and I'm glad to have him aboard as a pilot. So here's Mike.
Thanks, Dick. Let me echo what Dick said about it's good to be down here and to be flying a vehicle that we know a lot of folks down here have worked very hard on. We understand it's ready to go, and we're looking forward to going to fly. I'm one of the 3 people on board who's and it'll be my first time to fly. Krista McAuliffe and Greg Jarvis it'll also be their first time, and we're just all looking forward to getting on orbit and getting the secret handshake. I'd like to introduce now Judy Resnick. She's our center seater, and keeps Dick and I honest on the system problems. Judy?
Well, I too am glad to be here one more time, and I am hoping that the affliction that Steve Hawley had from the 41D mission specialist of the delays hasn't rubbed off on me, and I think the guys behind me are hoping that it hasn't also. Otherwise, they might throw me off the flight. And I will now introduce Ellen Azuka.
Let me say that it's really a pleasure to be back. Looking forward to going to fly this one. I think we got some real interesting payloads. The mission is a great mission. We're looking forward to it, and I think we're ready to go fly. Thanks for being out here today. I forgot the one thing I was supposed to do. Let me introduce Ron McNair, who is going to be doing a lot of work with the Spartan Halley mission and carrying on a lot of the experiments that will be going on in the crew compartment.
Again, I'd like to echo the opinions of my crew members that we look forward to launching from the Cape first of all, and returning here a few days later. I had the privilege of being a part of the crew a couple of years ago that made the first landing here at the Cape, and I intend to be a part of the crew to make the first return landing to the Cape in about a week. At this time, I'd like to introduce you to perhaps the person you came to see, and that's Krista McAuliffe, our payload specialist, teacher in space.
Well, I am so excited to be here. We watched Columbia go over the Houston area this morning, and that was a thrill. I don't think any teacher has ever been more ready to have 2 lessons in my life. I've been preparing these since September, and I just hope everybody tunes in on day 4 now to watch the teacher teaching from space. I'd like to introduce to you someone who's going to be in my 2nd lesson, Greg Jarvis, the payload specialist from Hughes.
It's a great pleasure finally to get this far. I'm very proud to be part of the program that NASA and Hughes have put together, and I'm glad to be representing the Hughes Aircraft Company as their payload specialist. Without any further ado, I'll get off the stage so you can all get going. Thank you very much.
And then we have Commander Dick Scobie sitting beside pilot Mike Smith in front of the traditional cake featuring Halley's Comet and an apple for the teacher. Judy Resnick on the left, mission specialist, along with Ron McNair, and payload specialist Greg Jarvis, all members of the 51L crew. And they're going to give it another shot today. There they are, the crew of mission 51L, including teacher in space participant and the first private citizen to fly in space, Krista McAuliffe. This is shuttle launch control at T-minus 2 hours, 28 minutes and counting. Here comes the 51L flight crew boarding the elevator for the second time in 2 days, ready to depart the O&C building for the launch pad. And they'll ride down the 3 floors to the main level, where they will exit the O&C building, traditionally met by the members of the media who are standing by, waiting to document. And this is the work crew here that has been very active in preparing the 51L mission at the Operations and Checkout building. The payloads, which include a TDRS satellite, Spartan Halley experiment. And here comes the flight crew now. Commander Dick Scobie, followed by Mission Specialist Judy Resnick, Ron McNair, and pilot Mike Smith, followed by Krista McCullough, teacher in space, and Ellison Onizuka, and payload specialist Greg Jarvis. Big smiles today. Confidently getting into the van. They're going to go out to that pad and attempt a second try. Second try at launch today. It'll take
And the first crew member, Commander Dick Scobie, now in the White Room, taking off his jacket, along with Mike Smith, who is the pilot. T-minus 15 seconds. T-minus 10, 9, 8, 7, 6. We have main engine start. 4, 3, 2, 1, and liftoff. Liftoff of the 25th Space Shuttle mission, and it has cleared the tower.
Control program. Roger, roll, Challenger. Good, roll program confirmed. Challenger now heading down range. Engines beginning throttling down now at 94%. Normal throttles for most of the flight, 104%. We'll throttle down to 65% shortly. Engines at 65%, 3 engines running normally, 3 good fuel cells, 3 good APUs. Velocity 2,257 feet per second. Altitude 4.3 nautical miles. Downrange distance 3 nautical miles. Engines throttling up. 3 engines now at 104%.
Challenger, go at throttle up.
Challenger, go at throttle up. One minute, 15 seconds. Velocity 2,900 feet per second. Altitude 9 nautical miles. Downrange distance 7 nautical miles. Flight controllers here looking very carefully at the situation. Obviously a major malfunction. We have no downlink. This is Mission Control Houston. We have no additional word at this time. Reports from the flight dynamics officer indicate that the vehicle apparently exploded and that impact in the water at a point approximately 28.64 degrees north, 80.28 degrees west. We are awaiting verification from as to the location of the recovery forces in the field to see what may be possible at this point.
Liftoff confirmed.
Liftoff.
Houston, Challenger, roll program. Roger, roll, Challenger.
Good roll, flight. Raj, good roll.
3 at 65.
65, Fido.
TDL confirms throttles.
Thank you.
Challenger, go with throttle up. Roger, go with throttle up.
Fido, trajectory.
Go ahead.
Flight GC, we've had negative contact, lost downlink. Okay, all operators, watch your data carefully.
Flight Fido till we get stuff back. He's on his cue card for abort modes.
Flight GC, negative downlink. Copy.
Flight Fido.
Go ahead.
RSO reports vehicle exploded.
Copy. Fido, can we get any reports from recovery forces?
Stand by.
Fido, flight.
Go ahead.
Did the RSOs have an impact point?
Stand by.
Okay, everybody, stay off the telephones. Make sure you maintain all your data. Start pulling it together. Fido, flight.
Go ahead, sir.
Are the LSOs on the loop?
We can get them.
Get them up on this loop, please.
Yes, sir. It's the LSO.
Okay, are there any forces headed out that way?
Yes, sir. DoD LSO reports that all soft forces have been scrambled and they are on their way.
A large-scale search effort was initiated to recover the space shuttle debris. 22 ships, 6 underwater search vessels, and 33 aircraft participated in the operation. The pieces recovered initially were those found floating on the surface. The submarine fleet was used to locate and inspect underwater debris. Objects identified as being important to the investigation were retrieved. "50% of the entire vehicle was recovered in the effort.
We will most likely be heading north for a debris pickup over from one of the naval vessels. I don't anticipate remaining in this area very long.
Roger, point Charles. Copy. We'll advise when we have any further. 429. Come around to 000, 1800 RPM. Okay, we're going to try to catch up to the point we're off.
That'd be great.
Steady, Bob. I got you. You got it?
I have no idea, man.
we have a video release of the way in which the fragments from the STS-51L accident are being brought back and after being cleaned up are being laid out on a grid in the KSC logistics facility. You'll notice that they're being placed on a grid drawn on the floor in conformance with the National Transportation Safety Board's normal procedures. The view shown on the videotape is taken looking from a corner of the facility along the port side or the left side of the orbiter from the tail looking forward toward the nose.
We come together today to mourn the loss of 7 brave Americans, to share the grief that we all feel, and perhaps in that sharing to find the strength to bear our sorrow and the courage to look for the seeds of hope. Our nation's loss is first a profound personal loss to the family and the friends and the loved ones of our shuttle astronauts. The best we can do is remember our 7 astronauts, our Challenger 7. Remember them as they lived, bringing life and love and joy to those who knew them and pride to a nation. They came from all parts of this great country, from South Carolina to Washington State, Ohio to Mohawk, New York, Hawaii to North Carolina, to Concord, New Hampshire. They were so different, yet in their mission, their quest, they held so much in common. The future is not free. The story of all human progress is one of a struggle against all odds. We learned again that this America, which Abraham Lincoln called the last best hope of man on earth, was built on heroism and noble sacrifice. It was built by men and women like our 7 star Voyagers, who answered a call beyond duty, who gave more than was expected or required, and who gave it little thought of worldly reward.